Welcome back to another
This
episode
meeting is being recorded.
of the Sports Den podcast. I'm your host, Jonathan Hooker, who I'm here with.
Jackson Bramlett.
Is the Amir Freeman.
All right, so we have another podcast in a little minute because school finals all got hectic. So how did school year go for y'all?
Straight. Second semester was better than the first.
Oh yeah, for sure. It was the same thing for me. I had my first semester had set me back a little bit, but I got that right. It's all good.
Yeah, so throughout the couple weeks that we ain't been recording, we had the NFL draft. First round playoffs concluded. We saw some award winners. So we're gonna start off with the draft. So how do you guys feel about the draft this year?
I feel like hold on. It was interesting on different levels who what teams decided not to go with certain position groups and how players like the Kobe Dean fell all the way to the third round and just stuff like that. I don't know. It was an all around good draft though for me. I watched most of it.
Jackson?
I'm not surprised the quarterbacks went as late as they did, but it's just been a while since we've had a draft like that. And I thought the quarterbacks in this draft were better than some from other years. So that's that. But hey.
I say the NFL draft, this year, it was way more defense than offense. But in offense, the standout group was the wide receivers. It was the running backs didn't get talked about a lot. They are always just the same to the pro teams. And then defense carried out because of what Georgia did and how their defenders, 5 of their defenders went to the first round. So I think that right there just automatically concludes defense is such a need in the NFL now with all these high power offenses that we've been seeing join together this offseason.
That's true.
Yeah. So what are you guys' favorite NFL draft memories?
Zero.
What's your favorite NFL draft memory?
The Falcons shaking Calvin Ridley.
Bro, I took mine, bro. You really took mine. Nah, that's mine too though. But because the Falcons never draft anybody, they either getting a fat lineman you've never heard of in the first round, or they taking some unknown corner safety that's never gonna touch the field. So yeah, that really that's the last big name on offense that we had gotten in a while. But then last year we got Kyle Pitts, so that was good too.
Yeah,
but that was my favorite memory.
Yeah. I'll say for me, my favorite NFL draft pick memory. I'll say Todd Gurley getting drafted because he had that torn ACL and teams were backing off him, but he still went top 10. I was really happy for him. So
that's one of my least favorite because the Falcons skipped on him and took Vic Beasley instead.
The Falcons aren't a team that's been pretty good at drafting. To me, y'all had Matt and Julio. Yeah, I drafted Mike Vick. But other than that, y'all drafts be all right at best.
That man Todd Gurley was really on the Falcons.
Yeah.
So bad. He was so bad.
Yeah. Well, now that the draft is over, what teams you thought drafted well?
I think the Eagles won the draft.
Yeah.
I think they won it just because they weren't scared to take risk on these players that we've already seen produce at the college level in big games. I think it'll translate. I think them getting Kobe Dean and Jordan Davis together. I think they'll both be a little more confident knowing they have a brother from college right there practicing with them. Confident in their abilities and stuff like that. I think they'll be able to help lift each other up. And I think they'll be a big part of the Eagles defense this year.
Zamir?
Yeah.
The Eagles, with everything Jackson just said, and I think the Panthers had a really good draft. They got the number one player on their big board. He fell all the way to them. I forgot what pick they had. If it was like what 4, 6, something like that. But I think he was number one on their draft board. He fell all the way to them, and the quarterbacks are all a toss up, and they possibly could walk out of this draft with the best quarterback and the best lineman that we've seen. So I feel like the Panthers had a good draft, but the winners of this draft would have to be the Jets, with getting number one running back, number one wide receiver, and the number one cornerback. I think that the Jets had an amazing draft again. Sauce Gardner, Garrett. It was Garrett Wilson, right?
Yeah,
Garrett Wilson, and Brees Hall. I feel like they won the draft. So those are 3 teams.
Yeah. For me, I'll say the Jets and the Ravens. Cause like the Ravens, they had to sacrifice. They had sacrificed Hollywood, but they did it so they could protect Lamar. And I feel like this wide receiver class was so deep that it was okay for them to trade Hollywood. But at the same time, like I could see why Lamar was upset about the trade. And then they also got like Kyle Hamilton, who covers a lot of ground. He's like 6'4", 220. I mean, yeah, he runs a 4.6, but it's like running a 40 and game speed are two totally different.
Running a 40 and game speed are two totally different.
And then seeing those things like translate onto the field for the Ravens and how they like build they'll build their foundation on defense. So I think they'll be good. And then another team, I'll say the Jets. I'll agree with you on that one. The Jets got Garrett Wilson, Sauce, and they also got Jermaine Johnson, who's a really good pickup for them. So I'll say that. Okay, so now which prospects will succeed in their new situations?
I would got the Kobe Dean, because I feel like he should be the most motivated after this draft, after could have been the best defensive prospect, definitely the best linebacker prospect in this draft, and falling as late as he did. All these teams passing on him because of an injury that he really doesn't need surgery on, that it got like people overreacted on it. And if that was the case, why did it just surface at the draft? Why was this not being talked about pre-draft? So I feel like he would definitely succeed. And I got George Pickens because I feel like he's just a perfect fit. Like that might be the best fit in this whole draft, with him being in that division up there. And I just feel like it matches his energy, and he'll be able to be himself on the field and compete a lot. And for my main person though would be Treylon Burks, going to Tennessee Titans. I feel like he's similar to AJ Brown. He's a big body wide receiver. And with AJ Brown being gone, and we don't know it's like that receiver group, so Treylon Burks could be in position to have a breakout year. Might be the best. He might have the best rookie year in this whole draft class for wide receivers.
Zach, you're mute, Zach. You're mute. You're mute, Zach. You're mute. You are mute.
Appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
Looks. I was gonna say the Saints. I really like what they were doing. I think they had the potential to like be one of the best teams in the league this year, just because like they're healthy this year. J-Mo's back. Alvin, I mean, I don't know what he got going on outside of football, but he trying to come back, get ready. Michael Thomas gonna play the full season. They just picked up Jarvis and they drafted Chris Olave. Like, to me, that's a Super Bowl offense right there. To me, depending on how James plays, of course.
Okay, so you said, I'll say for me, I'll say Kenneth Walker for the Seahawks, because I feel like he has the most opportunity in that situation, because Chris Carson is injury prone. So if Kenneth Walker comes in and plays as he did in college, I feel like he will succeed in that role. And then I would say, I would say Malik Willis because I feel like he can take that Tennessee job from Ryan Tannehill because I feel like Ryan Tannehill is a floor raiser, not a ceiling raiser. I feel like Malik, if he comes in and actually leads the team to a couple victories and having a team behind him and building that chemistry throughout the locker room, I feel like that would be good for that team. Well, now moving on from the NFL draft. Now we're going to playoffs. Um, Playoffs so far, but let's say for your favorite NBA playoff memories, what do you have? That
I think one of my favorite playoff memories probably I went to the Hawks game last year, Eastern Conference Finals against the Bucks, and I was going to see Trey play. Like, come on, y'all already know this. It should be known. All right, Trey is my favorite player. I was going to see Trey play. I was expecting Trey to drop 50, beat the Bucks. Trey got ruled out right before the game. My mood was killed. I was just like, why am I here? But that was the best probably basketball game I think I've been to. Hawks played great. It was live in there. Giannis got hurt that night. I don't wish injury on people, but yeah, that was a good experience for me.
yeah. One for me would probably be the Kawhi shot against the Sixers. It was the way he was fading away and the way the ball just bounced around the rim was crazy to me. So I just feel like that was one staple moment. That was one of my favorites.
Zero like that. That Dame, boy, that Dame Dollar.
My favorite memories would have to be the Hawks against Philly, game 7 last year. Just watching Philly fall apart. The Hawks going there. Kevin Huerter had an amazing game. Hawks took over. Nobody really expected them to beat Philly. Went on and won that game and led to the downfall and fall apart of that team. And another one I cannot forget, probably my favorite memory of all time, probably will forever be my favorite memory, is the Miami Heat game versus the Spurs when Ray Allen hit that corner 3. That might have been the most hype I've got. I wasn't even going for either team, but that was just a really intense environment. So, yeah.
Hey, did Miami go on to win that series?
Yeah, they won that year. They lost the following year though.
Dang. If Ray missed that shot, they would have lost. I don't know, that shot literally saved the whole season.
Yeah, cause LeBron went on a run by himself. Cause I remember he had a layup and he had a pull up. Then after that, he had 2 threes, and then he took the headband off. This was before LeBron had actual hairline. Then I remember he was trying so hard to get it back, and then he tied the game once. Then Danny Green hit a 3, and then they came down and missed a shot, and then Bosh got a rebound.
Boy, I got that photographic memory right there.
But I was too hyped for that. I was too hyped. But for now, with all these young guys taking over, you seeing Lucas, you seeing the Tatums, you're seeing all these young cats. What are your favorite young stars in the playoffs? Give me 5.
Yeah, my favorite from best to least, or just my favorite 5. I'm gonna go trade number. Yeah, trade number 1, obviously. Number 2, I'm gonna go Ant-Man. 3, so his team made the playoffs, but he didn't play. I mean, I don't know if y'all consider him a young star, but I do, and I feel like he will. When he come back next year, he's gonna come back and star for him. So 3, I got Michael Porter Jr. 4, I got Jason Tatum, and 5, I got Luka.
All right. No particular order for me, but first I'm gonna say Trey. Just get out of the way. All right. My next 4, no particular order: Luka, Jordan Poole, Ant Edwards, and Tyrese Maxey. And I think my favorite out of all of those is not Trey. It's probably Jordan Poole, because like he plays the game like so free. Like it's almost as if Steve Kerr, like the Jordan Poole from this year and the Jordan Poole from last year, those are two totally different players. Like I don't know, he's just playing confident. He's a big reason as to why the Warriors are successful, I think.
Okay, my favorite five, no particular order. Ja, I'll say Tyrese Maxey. He was in the play-in. He was in the play-in, but he didn't make the playoffs. But I'll say Darius Garland. And then I'll go Tatum. Then I will go. I'll say Luka. It just
You don't like
I don't like who?
Trey?
No, Trey. Oh, I gotta take someone out there.
Got to.
Ja.
But I mean, I ain't gonna lie. Trey didn't have his best playoff performance.
No, but
He didn't have his best, but
but Trey impacts the game so much. Who I had Tyrese, I had Luka, I had Tatum, I had Ja. I don't know. I'll take Tyrese out, but I'll take Tyrese out and put Trey in. But Tyrese up there. Tyrese up there for me now. Cause like the way he was reacting, like in that game 6, like he was becoming like frustrated with Harden because like Harden wasn't playing his best, and like Harden only took 2 shots. Like with your season on line and one of your best players isn't like really like out there like trying, it's gonna frustrate you and you're giving it your all. I just feel like he gonna be all right in the league. So I'll say that. So we seen some awards getting handed out. We seen Jokic win MVP. Seen Marcus Smart win Defensive Player of the Year. We seen John win Most Improved. We seen Tyler Hero win Sixth Man of the Year. Will like give me a player who you thought got snubbed for an award at least.
I think Jordan Poole and Darius Garland were just as I don't know, deserving of the MIP award as Ja Morant. And honestly, I think they were more deserving than Ja Morant because it's not even like Ja Morant wasn't good last year. Ja was relevant. Like we all knew about him. He was doing most of this last year. The numbers might not have been up there, but there was a way bigger improvement between Jordan Poole and Darius Garland than there was Ja Morant.
Yeah.
So they got snubbed to me.
Zamir?
I think Desmond Bain for most improved player. I think it was the reason that Ja gave his trophy to him. I'm pretty sure he got it back by now, but Desmond Bain has improved a lot from last year to this year. With Ja being out and him stepping up to the plate and carrying that team to that 20-2 record, I think. So I think he should have been most improved player. And also, I feel like Steve Kerr was robbed from Coach of the Year. Reason being, or not even having to win it, but just like not being that top 3. Because like if you think about it, the Warriors were without Draymond sometime this year. They were out Clay for the first part of the season. Curry missed some time this year, and yet they still were number 3 in the West, and they finished with the better record than the 1 seed Heat on the East. And Eric Spoelstra was a Coach of the Year candidate, and Steve Kerr was. I just feel like it's a highway robbery how he wasn't mentioned. So yeah.
Okay. I'll say for me was DeJounte Murray for the Spurs for MIP, Most Improved Player. I feel like the way he improved like so much this year from averaging 28 and 8, I just feel like how he couldn't win MIP. Like he willed his team into the play-in, and I don't know. I just feel like he needs more recognition around the league. So yeah. So on the plane this year, what are your thoughts on it? Yeah, the plane this year.
On the play-in tournament.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I think. I, mm,
Cause you had
I don't know. That's a really good question.
you had the
That's a
Hawks play
really
the
good
you had
question.
the Hawks play the Hornets, you had the Nets play the Cavs, and then you had on the West Pelicans play the Spurs, and then you had the Timberwolves play the Clippers.
Now I'm not gonna sit here and say that the play-in tournament was unfair this year, but there's no reason Nets should have fell all the way to the play-in tournament. Like, yeah, we know why. They had players out, they had issues here and there along the season, but at the end of the day, they might have got swept by Boston, but the Nets are still a high caliber team, in my opinion. And I feel like, I don't know. Obviously, you can't do nothing about it because it's the record you earned, but
Yeah.
it was just a little more challenging in the East, in my opinion. The Cavs, I think the Cavs had the hardest path to get anywhere after they had that first game with Brooklyn. Because after you lose that game and you come home to a team, I don't know, man. It's complicated. It's complicated. Zero.
Zamir?
I just the only take where I got is from that is the Clippers didn't make the playoffs, and it would have been interesting to see what they could have accomplished in the playoffs with Paul George coming back into shape this year, and if they possibly made it far if Kawhi would have came back or not. I doubt it, but I don't know. I just feel like it was nobody really expected. Everybody felt like if the Clippers lost if they lost their first game, they were going to win the second game, and that just wasn't the case this year. So that's it.
I'll say for me, the playing was really entertaining because we had Patrick Beverly jump on top of the thing, acting like he just won game 7. That was good. That was really entertaining. Then he went on IG Live telling the Clippers to go home. Then you had KD and Kyrie in the playing. And I knew that was going to draw a lot of people's attention. Like, why are they in there? But I mean, it was all entertaining. Trey showed out in the playing. But yeah, that's all I gotta say about the playing this year. So far in the playoffs, like, what are you guys thinking so far in this year's playoffs?
Luka's playing amazing. If I know one thing, I know Luka's playing. I'm not gonna say he's the only reason that they are competing because the role players are playing their roles
Yeah.
phenomenally well. But it starts with Luka.
Mm-hmm.
Luka plays good. I think the Mavs win the game tomorrow night if Luka can drop over 12 assists. I feel like it's just that simple. When he distributes and they're hitting, like it's so hard to stop them.
Zamir?
That series, it's been, I don't know, like if the Suns can execute their game plan, they're gonna win. If Luka has somebody else who matches his intensity, they're gonna win. If Jalen Brunson has to show up if the Mavericks have any chance of winning, because we've seen Luka drop 45, 40 points and they still lose. Like, that's because what the Suns try to do, it's obvious that they attack Luka on defense and they wear him out in the first half. He puts up this crazy first half stat line, comes out second half. He's tired. He has poor conditioning. His conditioning sucks. He don't have no energy in the second half. And when you put that together with nobody else contributing, Jalen Brunson has to get him at least 20 points. At 18, 20 in that range. If not, they're not going to do anything. The Suns, I don't know. I just feel like the Suns are going to close it out at home. But I'm not saying that the Mavs can't win it. It'll be a real good game, but I'm taking the Suns to close it out. And what other series is Boston and Milwaukee series? I don't know. Like, I don't even know how to call this. Like, I actually predicted the Boston to go in to Milwaukee and win Game 6, but I also said that Milwaukee would go back and win Game 7. But now I'm just like Game 7 and TD Gardens. Like, I don't know. Like, that it's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be a good one. Like, I think I'm gonna take Boston as of now. I mean, no, I'm gonna take Milwaukee as of now, but it's kind of hard picking against Boston on their home court.
Wow.
But I do feel like the winner is gonna win the NBA Finals, and I'm looking past the Heat series. I don't think the Heat would beat either team. And that's not enough on the Heat at all because I've been saying that the Heat are a really good team. Dating back to our old podcast when Jackson was like he would take the Hornets over the Heat in a 7-game series. So I'm like, no, you're crazy. They're like, you're crazy. Like the Heat are like that. The Heat are like that. I just don't think they're on Boston or Milwaukee's level. So yeah.
I'll say for me, coaching matters. Wait, can we get a round of applause for the Pelicans? The Pelicans took the Suns to 6 games without Zion.
Without D Booker.
Yeah. Like
without D Booker.
That's a whole different team with D Booker.
Wait, so
okay, you can manage,
who's better?
You can manage filling a facilitator gap, but you cannot replace a scorer as elite as Devin Booker with another scorer. It is never gonna work like that. It's not. There's nobody on that roster.
So who's better, Zion or D Book?
D Book. He's a better.
D Book is more important to his team than Zion is.
But I'm saying, who's better as a player?
D Book.
D Book. What do you mean?
What's your question?
Zion might be
other than scoring. How is Devin Booker better? He's not. He probably not better than Zion.
That's just like saying other than defense, what else is Rudy Gobert good at? Nah, he ain't nothing. Take him off the team. No, that's his thing. D Book scores the basketball. He's like one of the best in the league at it in his position, really in general. So yeah, shut that down now. You need to shut that thought down now. You sounded like me.
Look, Zion. I agree. Zion is arguably the most efficient player in the league.
He is the most efficient player in NBA history as of right now.
He's the most efficient, but he hasn't shown us anything. Or as John Morant
We've
was
seen
saying,
a year of Zion Williamson basketball in the league. That's it.
Yeah, he hasn't earned no stripes to just put him over D Booker. I don't care about any of that. Like same way John Morant hasn't. John told me Kuminga he earned no stripes. I mean, but we're being real. What stripes has Ja earned? But that's not relevant right now. That's not.
I think Ja earned respect.
That's not earned stripes.
Ja earned respect.
Ja has earned those stripes, but if y'all want to get that, we can get that. But back on topic, Suns without D Booker is a bigger. It hurts way more than Pelicans without Zion because Pelicans still have.
Brandon,
if you take out Zion and you take out D Booker, the Pelicans have 2 of the 3 best players in that series still. So, yeah.
CJ and BI?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. But as a team, though, the whole team from
Ross. The Pelicans are solid.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. The Pelicans are like that.
Okay.
But anyway, all right, scratch that, cause y'all. Anyway, coaching matters. No, coaching matters. Cause I promise you, the Warriors look like a G League team. They look terrible sometimes against the Grizzlies with Mike Brown coaching. Compared to Steve Kerr coaching and Mike Brown coaching, it was a whole difference. I'll say that. Then Steve Nash cannot coach. I'll say that. Steve Nash cannot coach.
I'm not gonna say he can't coach,
bro.
Because I just don't think he can manage.
As a coach, he knows how to manage. As a coach, you have to manage that.
Yeah, that is part of it.
You can still be a good coach without knowing how to do certain things, right? Like,
well, he's not a good head coach. Then
he's not a good.
Yeah, for example, Golden State's interim coach, who's about to take over for Sacramento, Brown. Like, I'm not saying he's not going to be a good coach. Yeah, I mean, he could be a good coach, but he didn't manage that game well. Like,
his game
called timeouts he needed to. That game where they got their ass like obliterated by them. Like, they went on a run. He should have called a timeout at 7-0, but he's letting it go to 18-0. Like, you can't do that. Not in the playoffs.
dude. So you tell me, does coaching matter to you, Jackson?
I think it matters not as much as people think, but it matters. It matters.
Jackson is a firm believer that coaching. I forgot what
I
we
feel like the
argued
player
on
always
before,
has more
but
control over the scenario. Like,
they
because you can
do.
only
But
do
the
so
coach,
much in basketball. Like, it's a live game. Everybody's out there on the court. They have their own thing in their head. I feel like coaches can only put the game plan and just see how it goes.
Think about it like this. The Timberwolves and Grizzlies series, Timberwolves coach got out coached. Let's get that. Then you go, I'll say the Nets and Celtics series. Steve Nash got out coached. The Heat and the Sixers, Doc got out coached again.
How? Tell me how.
Joel Art, his game plan.
No, I just want to know how.
Bro. Game plan. His game plan was
just tell me one reason.
Bro, you're telling me you're not feeding Joel more than you did?
Joel he has a broken face. Hello?
Bro, it don't matter.
He was doing everything he could
went
do.
Out there.
Huh?
Joel said, I'm good enough to play. So you play through Joel.
I'm sure I think Joel was doing everything he could have done out there.
Okay.
Bro was getting knocked in the face, face already broken. He's still taking blows to the face. See, I remember I was watching the game. He had a wide open midi turnaround. I ain't never seen him miss the rim so bad. Right after he got hit in the face too. So I mean, you gotta take that into account too. We don't know what that man's seeing. He could just be saying he's straight, just like we might have said we straight growing up playing.
Okay, so the Jazz and Mavs series. So the Jazz coach didn't get out coached by Jason Kidd?
I don't think they got out coached. They just played bad.
What?
Donovan Mitchell had a bad series. Rudy Gobert, he had a pretty. It's not always the coach. You can't blame a loss on a coach all the time, though.
Bro.
That's what y'all got to learn and realize.
But the thing is, the Mavs did not have Luka. How in the world do they steal two games?
Jalen Brunson. That nigga was
because of the game plan. The game plan.
The game plan is to make him. The game plan is going to get him a max contract for when he resigns with Dallas.
Him executing is great. Yes, that's why. But the game plan was set in stone by the coach.
All I'm gonna say is, at the end of the day, the Jazz, I don't think they got out. They had a chance to take that game, take that shot. Bogdanovich, he had a wide open. Like, a coach cannot make a player make shots. Like, it's just plays like that.
Stuff did to be in that situation in the first place.
Yeah, that's true, but it's not always coach.
You trying the way you just said that, like you're trying to blame that loss on Bogdanovich for missing 1-3. He shouldn't have been in that position anyway.
Y'all have to accept the fact that just when you lose, it's not always a coach's fault.
No, you have to accept the fact that you never try. The coach, not like the coach has no effect on anything.
Oh, I think it's a combination.
That's literally how you act.
I think it's a combination.
Like for example,
you're not. I'm
let me talk. Let me talk. You talk for 10 minutes.
I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna press the red button.
Relax. Jackson, relax.
This man don't talk for 10 minutes.
Calm down, Steve Nate. Calm down.
Hey.
Doc Rivers, Doc Rivers has blown the most 3-1 leads in NBA history, right?
Yes.
Doc Rivers is known for blowing leads. So I'm usually I don't like I feel like a lot of his losses are his fault. But if you look at this year, for example, I don't give him that much blame because Joel Embiid being hurt, James Harden not being the player that he expected. No, that series is on Harden. I'm not putting that series on Doc Rivers.
Oh, yeah,
that's on Harden because Harden played terrible. Harden was not the player he was supposed to be. That's the difference between it being a coach's fault and a player's fault. It was evident that series was James Harden's fault. But if Harden still played good and if Embiid played good and everybody played good but they lost, then it's the coach's fault. That's the difference.
I mean, you got a point. Like, I ain't gonna lie. Spo's game plan against Trae Young was probably the best game plan we'll ever see.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's great.
Nate McMillan got out coached.
Great coaching.
Bro, like Spo's game plan was crazy. I ain't gonna lie.
Trae Young was locked up that whole series. Trae Young had the worst percentages in the playoff series, and like Trae Young had a terrible playoff series, and a lot of that credit is because of the game plan that Spoelstra put into effect to stop Trae Young. Nobody else. And Nate McMillan didn't know how to respond to that. The Hawks clearly did not know how to respond. Nothing changed. They looked the same all game. Every game in that series, they looked the exact same.
Yeah,
he didn't make no changes.
And that's the reason why that series was 4-1. But y'all are over here comparing series that went to games 6-6, and you're saying
Culture matters each game.
I'm talking. Hold on. I'm talking. Y'all just made me shut up, bro. Don't cut me off, bro. Because I ain't gonna cut y'all off.
Go ahead and keep going.
Okay. Spoelstra on Trae, yeah, great coach. I will say he out-coached Nate McMillan. Nate couldn't find an answer. Nate couldn't compete. In these other series, teams are competing. That like y'all saying that about the Jazz series, that really ticks me, considering that they were 2 inches away from a ball, being in a hoop just to go to a game 7. Like, you can't sit here and say that a team got out-coached. You had a player who normally plays up here play down here, not because of coaching. I'm talking about he's missing shots he usually makes. That's not coaching.
Okay,
that's not coaching.
But let me say this: isn't it a coach's job to make in-game adjustments?
It is.
So
and I feel like they made in-game adjustments necessary, because if not, they wouldn't have been in the playoffs as long as they were.
Wow.
These last couple years, the Jazz. Are they underperforming to you? The Jazz have been underperforming for a long time, and you're telling me,
yeah.
Okay, so you think coaching has nothing to do with that? You're talking about something. Oh, they were a big shot away.
That's why I say it's 7. A little bit of
they
everything.
They should have been that position from the first place. They should have took care of business when Luka was not playing in that series.
But y'all try to make it seem like it's 100% on the coach, 0%.
Nobody ever said it's 100%, but it's the majority.
Coaches get paid the most. Think about the highest paid coaches, bro. They show up when it's time to win the games in the playoffs. Like, come on.
So is Tyronn Lue a good coach?
Yes.
Answer that. So why was he let go? Why was he let go a year after winning a championship?
Because
LeBron
called a shot.
No. Lue left when LeBron left. Lue went to the Clippers. Right after LeBron left.
Still at Cleveland. He was still at Cleveland.
No, was he?
Yes, 1 year. Or
regardless of the fact,
I know they were there together, and they were both gone around the same time. But just tell me that. I just want to know. I just want to understand how y'all understand it. That's all I want.
Yes.
Maybe I don't
understand your question.
What's your question, bro?
I said, was Tyronn Lue a good coach? And you said yes. And I said, so why was he let go by the Cavs? Because he wasn't.
No, he left. No, he left in 2018. He was an assistant coach for the Clippers 2019 when Doc was there. Then Doc left. Doc got fired and left to go to Philadelphia, and then he got promoted. So what are you talking about?
Yeah, but you didn't answer my original question. Why was he fired? Why was he going from head coach?
He left.
No, he didn't. You don't leave from a head coach to an assistant coach. You don't do that.
All right.
Where have you heard of that?
So you're telling me if you're Tyronn Lue, you would stay in Cleveland knowing LeBron is leaving with that roster?
I'm telling you, if
I'm
Tyronn,
no,
28,
yes or no?
Exactly. I can call you out now because the Clippers didn't have nothing when he went there. They didn't have Kawhi when he went there.
Yes, and
Kawhi was in Toronto when he went there. You just said 2018. Kawhi was in Toronto that year. So what are you talking about?
In 2019, okay, cool. Then 2020, he got promoted to the head coach job. So you're telling me them picking up Paul George and Kawhi. They want to play for a coach like that.
Okay. You still haven't answered my question.
Bro,
Why was he fired from Cleveland? Why was he fired from Cleveland a year after winning the
He
championship?
left. I'm telling you that. He left.
All right.
So is Coach Bud a good coach?
Yeah. Yeah.
He's
He
what?
came to Atlanta, made Atlanta legit again, I'll say. Left, went to the most dominant player in the league, won a ring. He's been successful every year he's been there, in my opinion. Yeah.
So do you give Coach Pop credit for the success he's had in San Antonio?
I mean, yeah.
Or is that because of Tony Parker and everybody else that was there?
It was like a little, I mean, you had good players, good coaching, chemistry. That team didn't get broken up. I mean, that was just a good situation. That was a good situation with a good coach.
Okay, look. I want to speak for firsthand. Okay. You played soccer, right? You played soccer in high school, right, Jackson?
Nah.
Shut up, John. You played soccer in high school, right?
Nah.
And your team made it to what, the final, whatever? Y'all lost to McIntosh, right? Do you think without your coach, let's say you had Coach Armstead or just a coach that had little more experience than your current coach, do you think your team would have made it that far without coaching? If you just put your team out there with a random coach, you think they would have been this good?
A random coach or a person qualified who knows sport?
Just any coach.
A soccer coach.
Yes.
Yeah, I think we would have made it just as far. Yeah, because the teams we played, they weren't. McIntosh.
Okay, so all right. So in your soccer career, you think coaching hasn't had an impact in your team's success or failure? It's been all in the players, no coaching involved, no game plan center.
Well, you see, at my level of soccer, I played.
Coaching is coaching.
The coaching could, I mean, yeah, the coach could do so much, but these players were so fucking terrible. You got Nathaniel Favors on the field. Coach can tell him to kick it, but if he missed the ball, you can't do nothing about that. Like,
okay, that's why
it's just different, bro. I don't know. In the NBA, I feel like if somebody's gonna say you're a bad coach, you gotta really be a bad coach, bro. Because like I feel like in the NBA, bro, you have the best basketball players in the world, the most knowledgeable players on basketball on your staff. I mean, I don't know. It takes a lot for a coach to be bad, I feel like.
Okay.
That's all.
Okay. So,
like, for example, if you take that Golden State Warriors team, Clay, Curry, KD, all them.
Yeah.
Who's the worst team in the NBA this year?
Probably the Pistons.
Magic.
All right. Put Pistons coach in Steve Kerr's spot that year.
Yeah.
I'm not saying they still going to the finals, but I think that team is still productive. I think that team still goes to Western Conference.
Jackson.
If you all right,
Jackson, there's no way, dude. Dwayne Casey won a Coach of the Year.
That's why I just want the worst coach in the NBA. Switch the worst coach and the best coach. I guarantee you, it's not going to be a huge
drop
like.
off.
Yeah, it's not.
Okay, tell me this. If you put the best coaches in the spot that Steve Nash was in this year with the Nets, if you put Steve Kerr right there, if you put Greg Popovich, Eric Spoelstra, any of these good coaches with KD and Kyrie, you think they would have got swept still? You think they would have a chance to win that series?
No, they wouldn't have got swept. They would have won the series.
Okay, then, so coaching matters.
I didn't say it didn't matter, but I don't think when a team gets eliminated from the playoffs early, it's 100% coaching fault.
That's where you're nobody
has ever said that, bro.
My time is up though. Because I gotta be somewhere in 10 minutes. Hey, y'all boys hold it down.